Welcome back to this week's Oberthal recap, and what a week it's been. We've made some real progress on the farm this week, including increasing the amount of animals we've got, increasing the sheer amount of equipment we've got in the fleet, having a slight mishap with a tractor that I was really hoping I was going to own, and of course having stream loots run rampant with the Twitch chat, causing me to spend more time going through the market than actually getting farming done. We are now in August, which means that we have got harvesting to get through, namely the wheat, and then I've also got some grass to bale as well for the sheep and the goats, with extra being able to then be wrapped and taken to the biogas plant. We have expanded the amount of land that we actually own in the concrete areas so that I can start expanding the buildings there, and just generally overall making a really good amount of progress while still having a huge amount of fun. On the note of the market, I actually had to spend some time on TikTok on Saturday, yesterday from the time of recording this video, to get this shop in some form of real sort of neat and tidiness, and even then it's still not all done. The biggest problem I've got is that when chat make me buy the bags of pig food or rock salt, I can't actually lift them into the Aperion, which we learned that we could do with the pallets to save some time. As a result, I've got to basically handball these onto a flatbed at some point, but for now at least, there is room on the market for more things to be purchased in the form of both equipment that I need and the bags of nothingness that chat keep buying me. In terms of the greenhouses, the majority of them have lasted really well. Like the lettuce, some of the strawberries are doing really well and have still got like 50,000 litres. They're not really using that many. However, unfortunately, the tomatoes are going through water at a much higher rate than the strawberries and the lettuce actually require. They require 3 more water to make 16 tomatoes. This means I'm probably going to have to spend some time refilling the greenhouses, and I've got to decide whether I want to go down the lake and do the full refill or whether I want to use the water tank that's at the point of the greenhouses to save some time that way. On the note of the animals, as you can see, we have built out this area a little bit more. We've got a big silo there behind us. We've got the shed which we had before, and as you can see, we're getting more and more animals. Thanks to chat as well, we have now got lots of food for all of them. The chicken coop is pretty much full. Pigs have about 57,000 litres, but obviously with the coop being able to hold 1,000 pigs, we're going to need a lot more food than that. Wheat is going to go into the silo, and goats and the sheep are going to get fed via the grass that I'm going to be harvesting momentarily after we've got the wheat harvest done. We've also got a sprayer, a couple of new tractors down there, obviously the Big M which we're now using, the JCB, and the 2 bale loaders which we were using before. We've got a little Valtra, we've got a little Massey Ferguson, and a little John Deere over there as well. Really happy with the layout of this. I feel like there's not really too much more that I need to do. Maybe put down a little shed to put all the extra bits that I don't really need that chat have made me buy, such as the liquid fertilizer, the liquid herbicide, some pallets of lime that I've got up here, and a couple of pallets of poplar as well. The poplar will probably go down to the second yard, which I'll show you in just a second, but overall really happy with how this is looking. I can see the development, and that makes me really happy. The yard down here is coming on really nicely. We've got a hay shed which I'm using to store any extra pieces of equipment for now, and any pallets of seed, fertilizer, bags of pallets, some tree saplings or whatever that chat are making me buy that I can end up using later on. That's going to be easier than just selling it to rebuy. The hay shed is interesting because even though it's a flat surface, when you put it down, it does have like a dip here. I think what I've done is I've actually put it down the wrong way round, and I think the dip should be at the other side. It's not a huge issue, but it is kind of annoying. It'd be cool if they had sort of like a way of telling when you're placing the hay sheds and stuff, which way is like the opening. But aside from that, I'm not really too bothered. Like, it looks really cool, and you can still go in from the sides easy enough. And then in this shed here, you'll see that we've got some more equipment. We actually changed out from the Pottinger last week, like I said, for the Hush seeder, which has got a greater capacity for fertilizer. We've got the subsoiler down here. We've got the planter, the weeder seeder, the seed tank, the roller, the fertilizer, and then this rather huge cultivator, which is what I wanted to use the quad track with. It has a power rating of 500 brake horsepower, which means that anything under that will struggle to use it. This is kind of annoying because I've been told by a couple of people that I can use 400 power drive that I'm currently driving and it will be fine at 435 brake horse, but honestly the case is constantly braking as it is. I don't really want to risk it. I would rather get something bigger and more powerful so I can use the case less and less and keep it for sort of like heavy hauling the trailers where I'm not using it as much, just to reduce those maintenance costs. Like this thing is costing me 20 to 30 grand every time I repair it, and it's needing repairing a lot. We've already got 72 hours on it, so I'm not surprised. I don't want to sell it because I can still get use out of it. We've also got the little John Deere, and we do have another Massey Ferguson over there with a front loader on it, which has been really, really good. That was a really cracking buy. We only paid 50 grand for that. The yard is coming on really nicely. I want to get another shed here just for vehicles, so I can store all the vehicles here and then keep all the tools and things down. I want it to be another solar power shed so that I can go through and through, which means that when I'm parking the case up I'm not going to have the issue with the header trailer, and it'll also make me some extra money passively each month. Other than that, I might put a little tool shed here for some of the smaller things, like if I get another small weeder or anything as an extra, or maybe just a couple of solar panels down here. That might be a possible, and have a little solar panel farm. But overall, very, very happy with the progress so far. Finally, the wheat field. As you can see, it is all ready to go. It is all ready to harvest. This is all going to go into the silo that I've got at the animal field to keep the chickens fed throughout the year. We are starting to get up there on chickens now. We've got about 280, 290 that chat keep making me buy, with a maximum of 1,440 enabled to be purchased. A mixture of ducks and chickens, and this is going to keep them fed all year, I hope. The silo I've got up there can hold 400,000 litres. I'm expecting 200 to 250,000 litres out of this. I did make a couple of mistakes when farming this the first time around. We're all ready to go, and I'm very, very happy and excited to see just how much we're going to do. This is going to be the first port of call on Monday, and then once I've got this field harvested, the next thing I'm going to be doing is mowing and baling on the field 22, which I showed you in last week's video. And then once we've got that done, I do have some cultivating contracts to get through as well, which should hopefully give us a nice little bit of a boost so I can get a brand new tractor, since we had a slight issue on Friday where the game didn't actually save like it should have done, and I missed out on getting a quad track, which would have cost me only 250,000, more than half price. I think it was 65% off. It would have been perfect for the cultivator that I bought. Alas, these things happen, so we're gonna have to save up and buy probably the 1000 Vario from Fent, unless another one comes up in the discount store.